But feel good, oh my god, what the hell is that? Is that a fucking bird? Is there a bird at my window? Goddamn little bird chirping his ass off on the roof next door. What a dick. Deep breaths. Deep breaths. Must not gush. But man, is it hard to, as Yoshi's Woolly World is good. Now, when I say good, it's a Yoshi's Island game, and my gushing does not come from the gameplay, as it's a Yoshi game. It comes from the first part, as always, the graphics. The graphics at first seeming strange, as they're made of yarn. I say strange, as at first, it was a strange thing to see games made out of something other than pixels, so to speak. But this year's E3, there was a lot of that kind of stuff. Being Yoshi here made out of yarn, Unraveled being made out of yarn, and that new Tearaway game being made out of paper. Now you can say that this has been done by Little Big Planet and the like back in the day, which is true, but it was a novelty back then, whereas now, with these three mentioned above, it seems like it's becoming an everyday thing. But it works, especially for Yoshi. He's a cute enough character as is already, and turning him into yarn, and all of the enemies into yarn, it's just... look at this little Podoboo. That is the cutest damn Podoboo ever, and he's mine now. And to me, this was what epic yarn should have looked like. 3D yarn things, rather than the 2D lines that Kirby and Prince Fluff were. So overall, the graphics are amazing, each world brimming with colour and charm and cuteness, and a new way to use the fabric, like how the desert world with the yellow scarf moves up and down to emulate falling and rising sand of the sand dunes. The gameplay, whew, man, where do we begin? There's so much to go through here. I think first we'll start with the controls. They're pretty much the norm. If you played a Yoshi's Island game, then you've played this one. You run, you press A again for a floor jump, you tongue and you press down to poop out eggs. Only this time they're not eggs, but rather yarn balls that can interact with the environment, ranging from turning objects solid, to tying up enemies, to transforming enemies like the Chomp into a Chomp Ball, to mow down all of your foes. Yes! Oh, you're all so screwed! And with that said, yarn balls, as you saw earlier, you want to hit every enemy with one yarn ball, whether it affects them or not. As in the hub world, you've got this tent, and in one of these tents there is, I guess the best way to describe it would be a Pokédex, and your yarn balls work kind of like Pokeballs, so every enemy hit with a yarn ball, whether it's affected or not, is added to your Pokédex, where you can view them like this in this little gallery thing, and you can also listen to the music in this little tent thing from all the levels that you've been to. And lastly, for the controls, they themselves are so tight, they are so responsive to the level of Super Meat Boy. You press A, Yoshi jumps instantly. So every death, I mean, it's a fairly easy game and you're not going to die all that much, but every death that does occur feels like it is your fault. There is no slipperiness, the control is spot on, it is great. So, let's move on to the other two tents that are around now that we've discussed the gallery tent where you can view the monsters in your Pokédex and the soundtrack. Moving off from the gallery tent, there are two other tents around the hub island. The first tent is the Amiibo tent, where you can scan in your Amiibos to change Yoshi's design to play as something like Samus Yoshi or Inkling Yoshi, a feature which is how Amiibo should be done. Some fluffy tat on the side if you wish. Not like the Inklings, which are basically DLC locked behind an Amiibo paywall. The only thing I found wrong with this was the Pokemon ones, for whatever reason, don't work, and when scanning both Greninja and Charizard, it just gives me this t-shirt. And the Wool Yoshi Amiibo, which is the most adorable thing I've ever seen. I didn't even know what it did, I just bought it because it looked adorable and cool, and to see a Skylander Disney Infinity Amiibo toy made from something other than plastic was... he's just the cutest little thing, and he's sitting here on top of my Wii U watching me do this review. So, but him himself does not give you any kind of different skin, but he is used in game, and we will get to him in in a little bit when we talk about the gameplay. And on the hub island is the Yoshi tent, as there are two main objects to collect. There are still to collect 20 hidden coins and finish the level with 20 hearts, but the two main things you will be after. The first one is connected to the Yoshi tent, which are yarn bundles. Like flowers, there are 5 hidden yarn bundles in the level, and finding all 5 once you beat the level, they all 5 come together like they spin around, and they form a new Yoshi, which is like the amiibos that will appear in the Yoshi tent, ranging from things like hot cocoa brown Yoshi, to a jungle green Yoshi, to detailed ones like a cow, a shy guy, and bird. Yes, some of the original bosses have come back from the original game, now with a new spin on them. There are, of course, new bosses, like this mole that hides in the scarf as well, but that's for the gameplay, which we'll come to right now. This is indeed a collectathon, where you have to collect as many hearts, secret coins, secret yarn bundles and flowers as possible. We'll cover the other main item first, and then we'll move on. So the other main item is the flowers. Like the yarn bundles, there are 5 in each level. They're not as important as the yarn bundles, as they are mainly there for 100%. As if you collect all the flowers in a world, you unlock a secret 9th level. This is basically the hard mode version of that world. It's still woolly world, so some of the early level 9s are not as bad, but some of the later ones start to get up there. However, Feel Good Inc. told Nintendo to go fudge themselves, as that ancient voodoo curse of still having lives in a Mario game, to fleece quarters that do not exist, was a load of old tripe, and so they ditched the live system in favour of Ubisoft and Team Meat's design, in which there are no lives and death is only a temporary setback. So, no long-winded death animations, it just takes you right back to the last checkpoint to try again. Finding that nice sweet spot where death is a setback without being frustrating, like losing all your lives and having to start the whole stage again, or watch Mario jump into the air and have that jingle and send you back every time, making you lose your patience with it more and more. The thing it does right is there is no time limit either. There was no reason whatsoever for 3D World to have a time limit. Mario is not Sonic, and you need to stop that, Nintendo. Remember them levels in 3D World that were based at night, like faster rolling hills? Remember how nice they looked, and how calming the music was, and you just wanted to stop and look around and take in the scenery and the music? Well, too bad, you only got 30 seconds to complete the level, now run your ass off. No. That was wrong, and once more, Feel Good Inc. gets it right, banishing that timer to oblivion, allowing you to go as slow as you want, to really get a good look at each level and take in the atmosphere, and the music they have made. My God, they have made some nice music. Each track happy and bouncy and really makes you, well, feel good. Just listen to this, each track. Stunning. The gameplay side of things does not stop there. Oh no, as Feel Good Inc. has really outdone themselves with gimmicks. Now, sometimes this is a bad thing, but here it's a great thing, as they're not in your face and you're not forced to use them. It's just something in each level to make it feel different and varied. Sometimes you'll have to catch some bombs to blow up logs, other times there'll be springy trees, others chomp rocks, every level offering something a little bit different to keep each world feeling fresh and varied. And can they keep this going for all 6 worlds? Yes, yes they can. Some things like the chomp rock does repeat a bit, but for the most part there is something new in each world and level to keep you want to keep going on, to see how much more varied stuff they could have, like the desert level, where the sand moves up and down, or jumping over the Pokeballs, or where you have to jump between the background and the foreground. 2 levels I would be showing off, but I ran out of recording space, moving us on to a small technical note. If you're recording this for YouTube, I am using a HD PVR2 recording in MPEG-2.ts. It eats up your driver space like crazy. All of the hub section and World 1 filled my C drive, that is, all 13 gigabytes that were left. So it might be best for you to record and edit half a world at a time if you're planning on a Let's Play or other videos of Woolly Worlds. Lastly, there is the potential of even more content locked away, as after the final boss is defeated, it is hinted that the giant yarn ball in the middle of the hub world does something. Maybe it opens up a Rainbow Road-esque World 7 or something? But in order to find out, you need to 100% all worlds. That means that all 9 levels in all 6 worlds have to have a star next to them. Now, being I don't have review copies as of yet, and this review has to be out on time, I am yet to get 100% on all 6 worlds, so I cannot tell you. But hey, being the final boss is still completion enough for a review, right? And then there is 2 minor notes that I'm going to go over, which are the extra modes. The first being Dragon Yoshi mode, in which it's for the kids, where you can play as Dragon Yoshi and fly around and stuff, being all invincible. It won't help you in unlocking the final secret, as the star is only awarded if you 100% the level in normal mode. I'm still not sure if I like this whole idea of baby mode, where you switch it on and God beats the level for you. It seems like a waste of money to me, and being a high level gamer, I only touched it once to just have a quick look at it for the sake of this review, and I'm never going to touch it again, so I'm probably not the most qualified to talk about that. The other is Double Trouble mode, in which if you tap a normal Yoshi amiibo, or that cute-ass Yarn Yoshi amiibo, or if you're a cool dragon like me, the Birdo amiibo, seen here, then you can have a second computer player join the level and mimic everything you do, like the Double Cherry in 3D World, but I only used it once, and it felt awkward to control. I found myself getting hit more with the 2 of them on screen, as your eggs bounce off both of you, and if your clone hits an egg into you, you can get bounced forward into a piranha plant, and if they split up, oh, then it's a nightmare to control 2 Yoshis with 1 controller. Maybe it's used for challenge runs, but who knows? It's optional, and no level is needed to finish with 2 Yoshis, so it's fine. It's just a bit on the side, but I can't really see the purpose of it myself. So let's just move on to the final verdict. So, on the whole, Yoshi's Woolly World is a great game, and its final verdict is a 5 out of 5. There is nothing bad I can find to say about this game. I mean, it's not the most challenging game in the world, but Feel Good Inc. went for fun over challenge. They wanted to make a light-hearted game that you can have fun with and casually play through, just for fun. And they pulled it off. The visuals are very impressive, bright, colourful, and the yarn style makes it all look so cute and adorable. The gameplay is what we've come to expect from a Yoshi's Island game, and the controls themselves are nice and responsive. The music is upbeat and puts you in the right mood, and the amiibo stuff is just some fluffy tat on the side, rather than Splatoon locking DLC behind an amiibo paywall. So, yeah, it's great. 5 out of 5. Right. Now it's time to go and listen to the song that started off the whole company.